It has been one crazy build-up to what is arguably one of the most anticipated fights on the boxing calendar in 2013, as Adrien Broner will take on Malignaggi for the IBF welterweight crown live on Showtime. And of course, the man behind the microphone, or one of them, on Saturday night is Hall of Famer Al Bernstein, who joins us on the line right now. Al, I think everyone universally is excited about this fight, but at the same time, there's some skepticism about whether or not Paulie has the legs at this point in his career to keep Adrien Broner away from him.
This was the 28-year-old Paulie Malignaggi we were talking about. He would be, in my opinion, a favorite to win this fight, because at the end of the day, Adrien Broner, this is ironic to say about a fighter who has twice won a world championship and, for reasons known not to me, is in the top 10 pound for pound of Ring magazine. But that's nonetheless, but he remains something of an unproven fighter. You know, he's fought one A-level fighter or B-plus level fighter, and that's Daniel Ponce de Leon, and he barely won that fight if he won it. The other person of note he fought was Antonio DeMarco, and he won that fight very convincingly at 135. But, you know, Adrien Broner is still not a tested and known commodity at this point. He really isn't. So if this was a 28-year-old Paulie Malignaggi who would have that movement that you're talking about and be able to show angles to Broner and use his combination punching and cleverness in the ring, I just think that would give Broner at this juncture huge problems, and would I think expose some of the issues that Adrien Broner has with fighters that do that. I don't know if the 32-year-old Paulie Malignaggi can do that.
There's no question that Broner at this point doesn't have a stacked resume by any means, but people are still anointing him as the next superstar in boxing nonetheless. From what you've seen, without even seeing this fight on the weekend, Al, does Adrien Broner have the goods?
Well, here's what he does have. He has good hand speed. He's got good offensive skills. He has defensive lapses. He doesn't have the best movement on the planet. And we don't know how he'll take a punch from a real puncher. You know, the only person that's hit him with authority was Daniel Ponce de Leon, who, of course, was coming up from 126 pounds. Big difference between getting hit by Daniel Ponce de Leon and, let's say, Lucas Matisse or Danny Garcia, 14 pounds higher and with a lot of power. So we don't have the answers to those questions. I really believe the jury is out on him. I think he could be a very good fighter, might be great. I don't know. I lean toward very good. But, you know, I just don't know. I think the next couple of fights are probably going to give us the answer, you know. But he's obviously a good fighter, but I just, as of yet, I just don't see how we can anoint him. I don't know how that can be done, because we've seen him in just really, it'd be like anointing Gary Russell. You know, Gary Russell has all kinds of skills and ability. You can see that, but we don't know how he'll function against. And of course, Broner's has fought better opposition than Gary Russell, but not by that much.
Well, speaking of fighters who were prematurely anointed, Seth Mitchell, previously the American heavyweight hope, on the undercard on Showtime, taking on Jonathan Banks in a rematch. Of course, Banks knocked him out in the first go-around. Al, do you think the same as me? Do you think that Banks just has Seth Mitchell figured out?
Chaz Witherspoon gave Mitchell some very, very tense moments. And Chaz is not a big puncher as a heavyweight, and he had Mitchell in some trouble. I just never I think, Mitchell is a perfect example of somebody who came to boxing late, very good athlete, but has not yet really figured out how to be an excellent boxer. And will he? I don't know. This fight clearly is a must-win situation for him.
Well, we're looking forward to getting answers about Seth Mitchell and, of course, Adrien Broner as well. Thanks for joining us, Al. That was Al Bernstein, Hall of Fame commentator, who will be on the call this Saturday as Malignaggi Broner comes at you at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here in Canada on Super Channel.